Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of season 4 here in the career mode RTG. We're one episode away from the January transfer window, so we'll be covering the Christmas period today, so it does get a little bit busy at the end of the month. We start with Reading away, which I'll play. I'm also going to play the game against Forest because they're directly above us in the league table. And then Swansea's away, QPR's at home. And these two are home and away, but in quick succession where stamina would be an issue, so I'd be better off simming. So I think I'm going to go Reading, sim QPR, play Swansea, play Forest, and then sim the other two at the end of the month. As things stand, I've added loads of your suggestions onto my shortlist, and they are currently being scouted with regards to the winger position. A couple of them, their contract runs out. You see, it's bloody massive, my shortlist right now. A couple of them, their contracts expire or at the end of this season. So in January, I'll only be able to sign them on pre-contracts. So I'm only going to advance as far as the 30th of December, or just after the West Bromwich Albion game, so that if I do want to buy that player, if they look good enough, I can do and get them in this January window rather than having to sign them on a pre-contract in January and not being able to sign them to bring them in this particular season. Because, of course, Brooks Lennon is leaving us in January and I need to replace him in this window. So I would very much like to do that if I possibly can. So we'll start with Reading away. I have to replace Hughes, my goalkeeper, because he's currently injured just for a few days. He should be back for the next game. So Mitov is going to start in goal and he'll get called up, but everything else is as it should be. Been some calls to maybe start using Gerzic out wide. He's down as just a striker, but you can see he's got 74 crossing. He's very, very fast. And to be fair, could be decent as a winger. So I'm not sure what we'll do in future, because I may start using him or utilising him as a wide player later in his career. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, we're going to concentrate on the here and now, which is Reading away. Drop the video a like if you enjoy. Subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on any further content. Hopefully, we can start with a win. Minone in goal for Reading. Yadoma at right back with Luke Moore, Reece Oxford and Imoru at left back. Leandro Bacuna in the midfield, who's a player we did look at. We were previously kind of interested in him last season. You've got Mete up top, who's very fast. John Swift in the midfield. That's a decent team for Reading. This is not going to be an easy game, especially in the snow. Mete, little flick to Leandro Bacuna. Nicely out wide looking for Yeboah, but the snow's going to take that out. No, he's kept it in there. I did keep going with the defender just to try and ensure I got there if it didn't go out. Still able to cut inside and get his shot away there, Yeboah. But comfortable enough for Mitov at his near post. They're going to take this corner short, and Hankori pulls that back. Something from the training ground. Reece Oxford into Mete. Out to Bacuna again. Yeboah. Hankori. Mitov again bats it away. Reading really putting the pressure on here. They're going to go straight direct into the box this time around. Headed up. And, oh, Hill just brought it down. I tried to punt it away. And he just took a touch. That almost cost me everything there. But we could catch them on the counter-attack and cost them everything. Sabi in the box. He's on his left, which isn't that good. Minone makes the save. Reading with all of the pressure at one end of the field, but very nearly end up conceding at the other. Left-footed effort from... Oh, nearly intercepted that as well. Left-footed effort from Sabi. Well saved by the former Arsenal goalkeeper. This could be quite the entertaining game. It certainly started off at quite a tempo. Thankfully, we've got a foot in there on Mete. Otherwise, they might have had another opportunity. And now the ball's coming back up this end of the field again. And we'll look to play Uno in around the corner, which we've done well. He'll duck back. Sabi's there. Take a touch. Oh, nearly got the turn on Reece Oxford, but defended brilliantly well. Penny's won that header, though, and it still isn't over. Morales turns well. Looks for Sabi. He's going to go again here. Javier Morales takes the touch, takes the shot, scores the goal! Cambridge 1, Reading 0. What a start to this game. I've barely stopped going since Reading's first effort in the second minute. Wow. This is a great advert for Championship football because it's just been non-stop action in the entirety of the opening 20 minutes, which has ended with us getting a 1-0 lead on Javier Morales' what I believe is his weak foot. I'm pretty sure he's right-footed. No, he is left-footed. Okay, so 3-star weak foot, 4-star skills, and he is left-footed. Fair enough. That's why the shot went as well as it did then. I'll have to remember that because I've been going on to his right previously. Yadom looking down the line, but Penny should have that covered. He just beats Mete to it. Perella inside to Hill, and will send Ryan Leonard away, who could send Brooks Lennon away. Lovely ball into his path. Brilliantly done by Ryan Leonard. We will get that to Sabi, and he's played the 1-2. This could be a superb goal if it weren't for that block by Yadom. Oh, that was gorgeous football. Barcelona-esque with the way we were playing it around with little triangles, playing the through balls into the channel and then drilling the ball across the box. Well, maybe not Barcelona-esque, Pep Guardiola-esque, because City certainly play that way as well these days. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to score the Pep Guardiola goal. Didn't go in. Across to Brooks Lennon. Out wide to Bogle. There's Lennon again. Sabi turns well. Oh, tried to get that to Morelos to maybe set him away for a second, but wasn't quite able to do it. Reading have slowed down a little bit since those opening stages, but at times they are still playing very good football, as you can see. And I see the space for the man on this near side. Thankfully, Matt Penny recognised the gap and was able to come across and close the angle down. Mitov bats that away. It was very well struck. Oh, back in, but Perella heads it away. Still the danger looms, though. Bakuna into Swift. Oh, wow. We've mentioned these first-time shots on FIFA 19 before. Occasionally it works in my favour. The majority of the time it goes in favour of the opposition because the AI just is able to abuse it more than I am. But that from John Swift is unstoppable. We'll see just how far into the top corner that is there. It's just kept rising and rising and bending away from the keeper as well. And that's gone postage stamp, top right corner. That quite possibly is the best goal we've had scored against us, other than the Wolves overhead kick earlier in the season. Well, earlier in the save, sorry. That was last season, wasn't it? The Wolves overhead kick. That is arguably the second best goal ever scored against me in a career mode game. Just going to reach Brooks Lennon. Standing into the middle. Sabi could be there, but the defender rises well. It's going to be 1-1 at half-time by the looks of things. And, oh, maybe not. Maybe not. Sabi. Oh, it's trickling, but trickling wide. Forward into Morelos. Oscar Hill around the corner there nicely to Sabi. Looking for Morelos. Here's Brooks Lennon around the corner. Pull it back. Oh, it will find Ryan Leonard, but we'll get it to Sabi. Oh, we are going to take the lead again. Oh, I wasn't sure whether that was actually going to work for me halfway through that move. I've never noticed the rather colourful underside of Sabi's boots before. But we'll take a 2. Wow, we've taken a lot of fans. We filled that entire stand behind the goal away at Reading. I didn't realise we'd taken that many fans there. I wasn't sure when I played it in there and that touch was right in front of him, whether I'd actually be able to get the shot away with those two defenders in front of me, but he's actually side-footed that beautifully, Sabi, into the top corner. Neither goal, for me, has been as impressive as John Swift's, but his only counts for 1, so we've got 2, and we'll take the lead. Luke Moore, across to Rina Mota, inside there to De Silva. Here's Richards, dinked in, but it's poor. That's really poor. We'll take that with Mitov. Unfortunately not able to keep himself a clean sheet, but I don't think any goalkeeper would have kept out that shot from Swift. Almost everybody was wearing a must be yellow hat day or something for away fans. Although, look, all of the home fans are all wearing blue hats for Reading as well. I think EA might need to have slightly few more alternate character models for the crowd, because everybody looks exactly the bloody same at the minute. Or at least with their attire. Facially, they look different, but they all wear exactly the same thing. Maybe a bit more variety, lads. Hopefully, though, we don't have any more variety in the results that we're getting. That's a nice win against Reading. I should have actually checked there to see what Forest's scoreline was. They must have won, because the gap is still 5 points at the top. But we are opening up a little bit of a gap to Bournemouth below us, which is good news. Ziegler was the last one we trained there. Still can't train Suarez Garcia because he's injured, so we shall train Mancini next. And if this goes well, he could go up to 69 rated. And he has. Wonderful. Still continuing to grow really well, Mancini. Sorry, up to, 69 rated. I just saw the 70 was like, oh, hang on. No, he's 69 rated now, Mancini. We've got QPR next, which I said we will simulate. So we shall do that now. And then we'll be able to play the third game of the episode, which was against Swansea, I believe. We'll get to the QPR game now. I should get 1 or 2 scout reports back fairly soon. Just noticed there that Sabi's actually joint top goal scorer in this division as well. He didn't start off the season getting that many goals, but he's certainly caught up at the top of the list. We'll simulate QPR at home and maybe he can go top of the goal scorer charts. Obviously, he scored loads of goals in League 2 and then was top goal scorer by a margin in League 1 last year, and is now gunning for back-to-back golden boots in 2 separate divisions. After 40 minutes, after the first half, it's still 0-0 here against QPR. Manning having missed the penalty after 13 minutes. After an hour, it's still 0-0. A win, please. A win, please. Thank you, Oscar Hill, the 87th minute winner. That's good. I'm glad that actually. Oh, and Forest dropped points. Forest dropped points. We're now within 3 of them, and of course we do play them in the game. Is it the game after Swansea, or is there a game in between the one against Swansea and the one against Forest? I think there might be one in between. Let's have a quick check, shall we? With Swansea next, and then we're straight to Forest. Okay, this could be very, very good indeed. We beat Swansea and Forest drop points, or even if we beat Swansea and Forest don't drop points, we could then go above Forest with a win against them just before Christmas. We got one scout report back on 1 player. I've got about 20 on my shortlist. That was Ollie Watkins. That might be another scout report there. Oh no, it's someone coming out from injury. It should be the goalkeeper actually, thinking about it. Oh, it's Isaac Morris. That's good news. Risk of losing 2 players, Greg Taylor and David Amu. Okay, I shall have to offer them new contracts. Callum Green wants to play. Sorry, mate, that's not going to happen. Ollie Watkins, 79 rated. 5'11", quick. Good crossing, good finishing, good ball control, good dribbling. That he genuinely looks like a 79 short passing as well. Looks like a good option there, Ollie Watkins. Have to wait and see what his weak foot and I can go and have a look in the actual transfer hub, but we'll wait and see. I'll look at everyone together and see what his weak foot and skill moves are. But that's promising. Ollie Watkins, the first scout report I've got back, and it's a player that I genuinely might consider signing. Right, let's see if we can't get another set of 3 points, shall we? Zabrit in goal for Swansea. Roden at the back, who's the centre-back we were previously looking at. They've got James up top on the left-hand side, a player that we were also interested in signing, and they wouldn't let us. Tom Carroll in midfield, Matt Grimes in midfield, Jay Fulton there as well. It's a strong central trio. Well, we thought the game against Reading was going to be difficult, and it was. I think this one against Swansea is going to be difficult too. Or Habastone. Drags in well, whips in well, but keeps. Can you catch that? Oh, he's probably going to get himself a yellow card here. He absolutely destroyed the keeper there. He's allowed to go for that, Matt Grimes. But yes, certainly was slightly too enthusiastic, I think. They just said in commentary that Swansea have won their last 3 games, so they aren't going to be easy to beat here. Sabi will just knock that to Moreles, and I'll try and burst into a bit of space. Out wide there to Uno. Sabi is waiting in the middle. Oh, it could be Moreles! He's just snuck in! Javier Moreles is really turning up. That's 2 goals in 2 games from now. Or 2 played games at least. They didn't score in the one against Queen's Park Rangers in the simulated one, but that cross was meant for Sabi because Sabi's so good in the air. But he's actually picked out Moreles beautifully. He's just glanced it into the bottom corner. Didn't need to get too much of a firm connection on it. He's very, very nicely guided that down and into the bottom corner. That's a very good header. Javier Moreles is turning into one hell of a player. Wide to Daniel James, but tackled by Jaden Bogle. I'll give that to Uno. They keep leaving Uno in loads of space, and I don't know why, because I'm able to get it to him time and time again. Round the corner there to Ryan Leonard, who is yet to score for Cambridge, but could get himself an assist here, and surely will. Sabi thumps that home. Swansea concede 2 in quick succession. Oh, really pleased with that. I nearly missed it. I put a decent amount of power on it just to try and make sure that it got past the keeper quickly because he was right in front of me and I very nearly elevated it or put so much power on it that it elevated it over the top of the bar. Right underneath that there, Sabby, but into the roof of the net, luckily. That's 2-0. That's his 11th goal of the championship season. That might be game over. Fulton, oh well. Morales just dominated in there. He's run up, give him a little nudge and run off with the ball. Uno, looking for Sabby. Pace. Sabby! That's 3. Swansea have really fallen apart. I've not scored 3 goals in quick succession like this in a long time. There's 3 goals in 10 in-game minutes, maybe? Might be slightly more. Oh, really nicely finished by Sabby. His 12th goal. Oh, 15 minutes. 22, 33, 37. Swansea, done and dusted. Around the corner to Brooks Lennon. Sabby's in the middle. He's on a hat-trick. First cross fails. First time from Bogle is decent, actually. It finds Sabby. We'll get it around the corner there to Morales. He could get himself a second and has done. It's 4-0 now against Swansea. 5 minutes into the second half. Both Morales and Sabby now on a hat-trick, having scored 2 each. This is a very good game for us. Scoops over the top to Jaden Bogle. In there nicely to Morales. Good footwork from him to get away from the defender. And then plays in Brooks Lennon. I will probably look for Sabby here because he's on a hat-trick. There we go. The first pass was meant for him, but it ended up going to Uno for some reason. But I was able to get it back to Sabby before he was offside. And it's Cambridge 5, Swansea 0. Our biggest win of the season so far. This pullback was meant for Sabby. He's hopped over it inexplicably, but still managed to score the goal, thankfully. He's done that a couple of times, Sabby. He's hopped over the pass that's meant for him, and it goes to a teammate instead. A hat-trick for Emmanuel Sabby. And maybe we could get Morales one as well before the end of the game. There is still 18 minutes left. Easily the biggest win of the season so far here against Swansea. Can't quite believe it's gone the way that it has, especially considering they were in such good form and they might be about to concede again. And Sabby's just run around the outside the defender, looking to take it round the keeper, but finds this side netting only. To Selena. And the attack here, Swansea. Fair play to them for not just completely giving up at 5-0 down. They're still looking for a consolation goal, and Romeo will get to that first. It's gone out for a corner, and they might get themselves one before the final whistle. This will be the last chance. Penny heads away, and that should be the final whistle. Hopefully, is he going to get the chance to cross again? He is, but whilst it's on its way into the box, slightly unfairly, the referee blows his final whistle. At least let that passage of play end. Sabby is going to collect his match ball for his hat-trick. Maybe don't wave to the home fans. You're not exactly endeared yourself to them, Emmanuel, but we shall take it. Oh, Swansea didn't create anything. Pretty sure they had 0 shots. Almost certain of it. How did Forest do? Oh, look, they lost. We might be top. We are top on goal difference. And we play Nottingham Forest next. Jack Watmore's annoyed that he's not playing regularly enough. Our goal difference is plus 21 and Forest's is plus 16. So that 5-0 win, well, to be fair, if we won it by 1-0, we'd be top by plus 1 goal difference. We are ahead by the exact goal difference of the game that we've just won. Wow. Right, Nottingham Forest then to play next. To not go top, as we initially thought it might be, but to extend our lead at the top of the Championship. The board only wanted a mid-table finish this year. We're expecting to maybe just scrape the playoffs, but we're 10 points ahead of 6th placed Aston Villa now. Are we challenging? Well, clearly we are challenging, but will we perhaps even win the Championship and go second in League 2, first in League 1, first in the Championship? It is a genuine possibility. Getting some more scout reports back. John Suarez Garcia's back now, but what do I do with him? Do I put Morales out of the side? Because Morales has been scoring goals. Ollie Burke, 80 strength is good. That certainly endears him to me. Good ball control, good dribbling. His passing stats aren't as good as the other guy we looked at, Ollie Watkins, but he's certainly faster. 6'2" as well with 80 strength. He's going to be very good. And then David Brooks, he might be out of my price range. 17.5 million, I think he might be. He's probably first. He's really good technically. He's probably first team at Bournemouth as well. Although Bournemouth are in our division. Bournemouth are in the Championship. So it's not too far out the realms of possibility that we could sign David Brooks. But I'm not sure I'd be able to afford him. We'll wait and see when we get the Brooks-Lennon money. But Nottingham Forest at home next is where we shall head. And Morella's not quite on full stamina, so we'll drop him to the bench there for Bakare, and then I'll do this in the other menu as well, but I'll do it after this game. We'll throw Suarez Garcia back into the starting lineup. Right, game on. Forest starting lineup. Tariq at right back. Matty Cash in the midfield as well, a player that we have looked at with regards a wide option. Could actually put him back on the shortlist actually, because we did initially take him off. Tom Walker up top, Ben Osborne on the left. Obviously they're having a good season because they're joint level on points with us at the top of the table, Nottingham Forest. But every side that we've played so far this season that we thought was having a good season, we've battered. So we'll have to wait and see how this one goes. Around the corner there to Suarez Garcia, back to Lennon, Hill, Sabi, Uno, first time effort. Flashes across the face of goal and out for a goal kick. He struck it well. Oh, it is slightly drifting left. If it could have cut across it almost and made it arc, then maybe that could have flown. Maybe that could have flown in the back post. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it didn't, and we'll stay at 0-0 for now. Rather unsurprisingly, they're focusing on Emmanuel Sabi as a player to watch today. A hat-trick against Swansea, league's top goal scorer, looking to extend his lead at the top of that table as we look to extend our lead at the top of the league table itself. Walker out wide to Matty Cash. Cross is okay. Oh, catch that, please, Billy. Really could have brought that down there. Oscar Hill cuts that out on the strike. Flashes past the side netting. All brought on by Billy Hughes not catching at the opportunity when he had to. Tom Walker, that really isn't far wide at all. Did it clip the post? Oh, it didn't quite, but really not far from giving Forest the 1-0 lead. Driving forward well into Claudio Jacob. Good save by Hughes. Made up for that shocking punch earlier on with that stop. Nicely done to keep us level at 0-0. They've had the better chances, Nottingham Forest, but they haven't been able to take them thus far. And that's the reason why we still stay within touching distance of them. They could be 1 or 2-0 up by this point. Forward there to Sabi. Izuno. Sabi again. Nicely reversed. Hidden. Oh, how has Suarez Garcia got past the man? I don't know how he's done that. He's only little, Suarez Garcia, but the defender is just throwing his arms about, almost complaining at his teammates there. I think it was the same defender. He just spun him. Lovely little reverse pass by Sabi, and the defender almost went too far. He stepped across too far as Suarez Garcia, with his higher agility, was able to just duck back behind him. The finish wasn't that good, and the keeper certainly should have done better, but so should his defender in front of him. So they've had the better chances in this game, Nottingham Forest, but a mistake from a defender and the keeper in the same instance, and we find ourselves taking a 1-0 lead. Good header by Leonard. Sabi just knocked that back. Suarez Garcia brings it down really nicely. It seems Suarez Garcia and Moreles are going to be in quite the battle for that first team cam spot, because they're both scoring goals. Uno delivers the cross. Oh, it didn't quite reach Sabi. Suarez Garcia quickly get that to Sabi. Just knock that back. Give other people a chance to get forward in support. Sabi will look for Suarez Garcia. It led to a goal. Last time he played a reverse pass like that. He's running out of stamina here though, John Garcia. But he will score anyway. Moreles scored 2 against Swansea. John Mikel Suarez Garcia, back from injury after 2 months out, scores 2 goals on his return to the first team. I have my work cut out deciding who should go in my starting 11 time after time, shouldn't I? Don't I? And that actually was Garcia's last impact on the game, because Moreles has come on in his place. I'd already made the change, and he's just gone and proven a point to me and said, look, why are you taking me off? Why are you not letting me complete my hat-trick? I didn't know you were on a hat-trick when I made the substitution, Mr. Garcia. I apologise. Elliot Lee trying to get a tackle on Matty Cash there, but not able to do it. And we shall come away with the ball and get ourselves 3 points to extend our lead at the top of the table from +5 goal difference to +7 goal difference. Sorry, no, +9, because theirs will decrease by 2 and ours will go up by 2. +9 goal difference and +3 points as well. That's exactly what we needed. A brace from Jean-Michel Suarez Garcia gives us all 3 points against title rivals Nottingham Forest. And we are certainly now favourites for the Championship League title. 3 points clear of second, 5 points clear of third. Now I am going to add Suarez Garcia back to the starting lineup ahead of Morales. Purely because he's higher rated. But how long he's able to hold down that position with Morales growing well and biting at his heels trying to get that place back, I'm not sure. It's Birmingham away in the next game. We'll see if Suarez Garcia can pop up with a goal in a simulated game as well. I can't recall whether Morales scored many in simulated games. He certainly has scored a couple, but whether he scored as many as Suarez Garcia, I'm not sure. As we approach half-time, it's 0-0 here at St Andrews. We shall see if we can get the victory. We had to rely on a very late goal from Oscar Hill against Queen's Park Rangers. And it's going to be a late-ish goal if we're to get one here as well. And it doesn't look like we are. In fact, it's Birmingham that do to us what we did to QPR. Paul Crabb comes off the bench and scores a winner for the Blues. Oh, but Bournemouth have closed the gap on Nottingham Forest and overtaken them as Forest lose again. Which now leaves us still 3 points clear despite that defeat. And with the game up next to simulate at the end of the month, just past Christmas. It's West Brom next. I'm not sure where they are in the league. We are interested in a couple of their players. I'm getting some scout reports back now as well, which is good. I am going to, as I say, pause before we get to January to see if I can maybe buy someone, if one of the players piques my interest that is available on a free in January. If I can buy him now and get him to join the club on January the 1st, I will do. And you will have seen that from the calendar. Yes, we've drawn Manchester United in the FA Cup third round. That's going to be one hell of a fixture. But first up for us is this home game against West Brom. We'll simulate this. Then I'll cut and I'll go and have a look at all of the players I've got on my shortlist. I'll advance to the 31st via the calendar so that I can get as far as physically possible to have as much information as possible to make an educated decision with regards who we should sign as a winger. But we're 1-0 down after a minute as Zhang Yuning gives West Brom that lead. And then as we head into the second half, we certainly don't look like getting ourselves back into it at present. It could be back-to-back defeats after all of our good performances so far. It may be. 5 minutes to go. It is 2 back-to-back 1-0 defeats, which I would imagine sees our lead at the top of the table disintegrate. It may well have done. I'm going to go and cut then. I'll advance here to the 31st. I'll go and have a look at those players, and then I'll come back to you with my verdict. Okay, so I've looked through, and I have a number here that are already scouted. I've loads more yet to be scouted. David Brooks is 80 rated and the highest rated of anyone that I've had scouted so far. He's at Bournemouth, who are now in our division and aren't in the Premier League anymore. The only thing that would concern me about playing him out wide is that he's not that fast. Other than that, though, he does look very, very good indeed. But you guys know I like my pacey wingers. So he would be great for Cam. But evidently, Jean-Michel Suarez and Javier Morales, especially with 92 to 94 potential, are going to continue to be my cams for the foreseeable future. Reece Nelson is still here. 99 acceleration, 99 sprint speed. He's rapid. Technically looks really good too. Certainly an option if we can afford him. Ollie Watkins I do like, but it appears we're going to have better options. But I'm still going to keep him here because he does look like a decent player. So he's still got an outside chance. Harry Wilson, actually quite keen on him. I could train his sprint speed. And he has good free kick accuracy as well, of course. He's on loan at Derby, I believe, in real life right now. I think that's Harry Wilson. Yes, he's been scoring some good free kicks. And some great long range efforts as well. And he's got 86 long shots. So at present, Harry Wilson, as far as we've gotten down the list so far, Harry Wilson is my current favourites. Callum Robinson looks quick. 88 acceleration, 83 sprint speed, 84 agility. The rest of his physicals are okay, apart from his jumping. Technically, he's okay, but not the strongest. And at 78 is his max potential, according to FIFA. So he's maxed out there. The majority of the players that I have on the list elsewhere have potential to get into the 80s. So at the minute, he's not there. In fact, I am just going to remove him. We have Bukayo Sako. I couldn't find him on FIFA. Apparently he's not listed, so I'm not sure what his potential is, but 83 ball control, 85 crossing, 78 finishing, 77 short pass. He only has 59 strength and 67 stamina, which is a slight concern, but 93 acceleration, 90 sprint speed, 83 agility and 85 agility and 83 balance. 4-star weak foot. Does look very promising. Would be playing on the right and he's left-footed, but could cut inside and shoot. 78 finishing is decent, and we could always cut back and cross. That's the Robin regen, still out on loan at Frosinone. Just wanted to keep an eye on him. Ollie Burke is intriguing. We saw him earlier on. 76 rated, does have the potential to get into the 80s. Right mid or striker are his positions. 92 acceleration, 98 sprint speed is great. 80 strength too is very impressive. His crossing though isn't that good. Technically he's not as good, but that 80 strength really does give him a fighting chance of being selected as our new signing. Tahith Chong, 4-star, 6 foot tall, not amazing physically. Technically though, pretty decent. Good dribbling, good crossing. Again, has potential to get into the 80s. He's not a front runner, but he's certainly up there. Jack Clark, I couldn't find on FIFA either, weirdly, even though he's a real life player. Jack Clark, 88 accelerate, well, physically looks great other than the low strength and mediocre stamina. Technically looking decent as well, not that expensive, would be more of a budget option, but certainly piques my interest, basically, because he did impress when we played Leeds in the last episode. Callum Dowder, he's looking decent. He's fast, and technically he's okay. He's not as good as some of the other options we have, but he's a cheaper option as well. I wouldn't utilise that release clause again. To reiterate, especially I've seen some people commenting about it as well. To reiterate, I'm not going to cheat and use these really low, unupdated release clauses in players' contracts. Occasionally, very rarely, it will happen in real life. Like Toby Alderweireld had a really low release clause of like 25 million when obviously you'd say he's worth 40, 50. And similarly, Marco Reus had a really low release clause until they updated his contract. But it's very rare that it happens in real life, whereas on FIFA, obviously it's happening a lot in a number of different occasions. So it's a bug in the game, and I'm not going to cheat and use the opportunity like that. Anthony McDonald, he has a release clause of 8.9, valued at 9. 3-star, 87 acceleration, 82 sprint speed, good balance, decent agility, low strength, low stamina. Technically looks okay. He's an option for sure, but I'm really not sure at this stage. And then we have obviously the much lower rated Danny James, 98 acceleration, 88 sprint speed, high agility and good balance, low stamina, okay strength at 60, but technically he's not near any of the other options we have. If they'll join me, at present I still think Harry Wilson is my preferred option, although he is very weak. Ollie Watkins is up there for sure. Ollie Burke is up there for sure. So I could train his crossing and his short passing. Reece Nelson is genuinely a good option too because of his good dribbling. His short passing isn't the best and his strength isn't the best, but I just can't deny that pace, can you really? But Ollie Watkins is a good option. Ollie Burke too is certainly looking like he could be good. Chong is okay. Jack Clark is probably my favourite of him and Callum O'Dowda. In fact, I'm probably going to remove Callum O'Dowda because he's 26. Ollie Watkins is 26, but he's higher rated, so that's fine. It would give the opportunity perhaps for someone like Ziegler to get much higher rated and then take over that first team spot. I'll have to wait and see. Other players on my shortlist include Kadeem Harris, Patrick Roberts, Glenn Middleton, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Jonathan Lecker, Ademola Lookman, James Forrest, Harry Barnes. Is it Harry Barnes? Harvey Barnes. Adam Reach, Ryan Kent and Dwight McNeil. I won't get their scout reports back until I get into January. So I'm going to wait. I am going to wait. But I'm somehow going to have to make a decision. And I'm not sure yet how that decision is going to be made. Let's advance to the first. We'll see if we get any more scout reports back, actually, once we're on to the first. Doesn't look like it. We might get confirmation. Well, we will get confirmation of Brooks Lennon leaving. And Amu wants to leave as well. Musical monthly report. Lennon has left, so he's gone to Ghent now. The young players, Lewis Baker, still 92 to 94 potential for him. Technically, he's really coming along well. Just physically, he's slightly lacking so far. Toby Edwards, 86 to 92 potential for him. There is potential stats, not his current stats. Cameron Lee, 81 to 94 as a left back. And then Rob Gray, 82 to 92 as a CDM. Could really do with him starting to kick on now with his growth. But, got an unfit team, basically, to play against Manchester United. I'm sorry, Amu, but Ziegler will start ahead of you on that right-hand side, but you can go onto the bench for the time being. I'm going to start with a weaker, a full-strength side, but low stamina side against Manchester United, I think, in the Cup. The FA Cup is certainly a competition that we can do something in this season, but or could have been had we not drawn Manchester United. I've about 15 million to spend, so almost everyone on my shortlist is an option, but we'll have to wait and see who actually becomes a genuine option once we get all of the other scout reports. I'm leaning Harry Wilson at present, but there are a couple of others that pique my interest, like Ollie Burke, etc. It's a very busy month of January. We will be simulating a lot of games, but I'm certainly going to play Manchester United, and I might play Stoke at the end of the month as well to try and get payback on them for beating me earlier in the season. But for now, that's going to bring this one to a close. Thank you very much for watching. Do drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section your feedback with regards to those potential players on my shortlist, and I will see you tomorrow for another episode.